Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Texarkana Gameday.
Yeah.
Zach Doty. We're Zach squared today, hanging out for this first game of day 2 of the Texas High tournament here at Texas High's Tiger Field, and we have a intriguing matchup today, which is going to be really intriguing in 10 days because they're going to play each other again in an actual district ball game. But the Hooks Hornets, who you see warming up in their very new wave powder blue. If you're a Hornet fan, that's like, what? Powder blue uniforms taking on the Liberty-Eylau Leopards in a tournament game. It doesn't count toward district standings, but we're going to have a matchup between these two this morning. Liberty-Eylau is going to be back on this field in the second game. They'll take on Texas High in game number 2. And if we don't have enough intrigue just by the fact that we're doing Hooks and Liberty-Eylau, and they're in the same district, and Craig Jones is coaching the Hooks Hornets after a couple years as the third base coach for Liberty-Eylau. It's all kinds of worlds colliding today.
You got Whit Haynes starting on the mound for the Hornets. Eli Jarvis, the leadoff man for the Leopards. So he's the first pitch for a ball.
And here's the second one. That one's a tad outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Lineup for the Leopards today. Eli Jarvis leading things off in left field. Tristan Howe is going to bat second, the shortstop. Third baseman Britton Pipes will hit in the number 3 spot as Jarvis turns on one, but in the direction of a coming in fast Bentley Powell out in right field for the first out of the ball game, and there's one away. Dylan Neighbors going to bat fourth. He's at first base today. The second baseman's Maddox Moore. He's hitting number 5. DH Cade McLeod will bat 6th. Gabe Jarvis hitting 7th. He's catching. Will Tipton in center is going to hit 8th, and Arian Taylor will bat in the number 9 spot. With one away, here is Tristan Howe.
Tristan had an incredible game yesterday. I believe went 2 for 3 batting, but really should have went 3 for 3 after an incredible catch by a Benbrook center fielder.
Yeah, they robbed him of extra bases and probably a couple of RBIs. He actually went 2 for 4 yesterday.
2 for 4.
Had one more at bat in that 5th inning. But a couple of singles, a pair of runs scored, stolen base. And the count's quickly a ball strike on Tristan Howe.
Yeah, so the Leopards started 1-0. Hornets started 0-1 after they lost to Atlanta. Another district matchup that we'll see later on in the season.
Now hits this one in the gap in left center. That's down for a base hit. He'll take a hard turn at first, but he's not going anywhere. And Howe's hot bat continues as he's 3 for his last 5 here in this tournament. And he's not gotten any cheap ones. And as you said, was robbed of extra bases on a diving grab by Benbrook's center fielder last night.
They've all been super well hit balls, liners into the outfield for sure.
And if you're Zach Fowler, the coach of the Liberty-Eylau Leopards, you're feeling like that investment in your indoor batting facility and the machines they've got in there is paying off already. And Britton Pipes doesn't even get a chance to swing as he takes one right in the small of the back from Whit Haynes. And the Leopards, kind of like last night, have 2 on early in the first inning. Last night against Benbrook, they jumped out to a 7-0 lead, but they moved it up to 9-0, and then all of a sudden had to hang on as Benbrook got hot. Scored 7 times in the 4th inning before the Leopards finally closed the thing out to win 9-7, team that they had beaten in the regional semis last year. In steps Dylan Neighbors now. Rest of the lineup for the Hornets, Grant Rampy's at first, Braden McDonald's at second, Ripken Birdwell's at short, at third is Jackson Bloxam. Hudson Davis in left, Kaysen May in center, and we saw Bentley already. Bentley Powell in right field. Behind the plate's Jasper Crane, and on the hill is right-hander Whit Haynes. As he starts out, Dylan Neighbors with a pitch out of the zone. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
So it's a new revamped kind of batting order for the Leopards. It's been working out really well with Jarvis in the leadoff spot and kind of working down from there, having to readjust with Colin Evans being out with that broken hand and some other guys working in and out of the lineup.
I said it a little bit yesterday even. Jarvis doesn't have that prototypical leadoff man body or approach, it feels like. Like, he's a big guy, and you figure he's going to hit, gapping extra base hits, but his on-base percentage is nearly 500, and he's got a great eye. He walks a lot.
And you wouldn't necessarily expect him to be playing left field as well, but he's covering a lot of ground out there.
And a position he's still trying to get a handle on. He had an error last night on a ball that he kind of sort of overran and led to part of that big 7-run inning. It's going to be one of the issues for Zach Fowler, the learning curve of I got this guy at the top of the order. He's going to get me some runs, but we're going to have to be patient in the field while he learns it. Off goes Howe from second to third, pitches way outside, and behind him, Pipes on a delayed trots down to second base. So runners move up to second and third with one away.
So Coach Fowler having to coach third base today as Coach Rushing and Coach and Daddy Fowler over at the JV fields.
Which is a little weird to see Zach out there, because normally he likes to be in the dugout. This one's popped up in the infield. It'll be Birdwell camping underneath it and pulls it in for the second out of the inning. And it'll bring up Maddox Moore. Moore started yesterday on the mound, dealing with a bit of a toe issue, so him running is going to be a bit of a challenge today. He got cleated earlier this week, and just kind of hoping that he doesn't aggravate that too much. He did a little bit yesterday and got hit by a pitch here. Well, that's easy. You don't have to run, and you just jog down to first base. Your toe will be good with that. Base is loaded now for Cade McLeod. So a single, a hit batter, a pop out, and another hit batter, and the Leopards have loaded the bases with 2 outs. Beautiful day. We're here at Texas High with the Waddy Myers track meet going on over our left shoulder, and a full day of baseball here at Tiger Field. And that one hits McLeod. So 3 hit batters for Whit Haynes. You can see he's using that kind of drop-down submarine style, and at the moment he's struggling to control it. So McLeod picks up a run batted in by standing there and letting the ball hit.
So Leopards strike first.
Pipes to third, Moore to second. McLeod at first now, and here's Gabe Jarvis coming up.
Hornets got in a little bit of pitching trouble yesterday against Atlanta as well. A little bit of trouble finding the zone, and so looks like we kind of have the same situation here, and it's just a matter of figuring it out and getting out of the inning with already 2 outs.
Well, and part of the challenge for all these coaches this weekend is you've got district opener on Tuesday. You don't necessarily want to burn through your ace or your number 2 guy even. You want to try to get them a little work this weekend, but having to play 3 or 4 games, you're going to have to be very careful about pitchers. And, again, the wins and losses today don't really count. Of course, I can't imagine Craig Jones sits back and says, yeah, I don't mind losing a game to Liberty-Eylau. But you got to be careful about pitching. So Whit Haynes is going to get probably a long leash to be able to work his way out of this. 1-0 already Leopards. Jarvis, who's catching. So the pitch inside. That one misses. I think the count's 2-0. I don't see the lights on the scoreboard, or if they are, the sun is.
I believe it's 2-1. I think he fouled off the first pitch.
Here's the pitch. That one way outside. 3 balls and a strike. No place to put Gabe Jarvis. Will Tipton's the on-deck hitter. Leopards last night had the white uniforms. Today in the maroonish red. That white pinstriping. This one, a check swing that loops over the netting, and we've got 3 balls and 2 strikes.
You think they bring out the black tomorrow?
I don't know. He may save those for the home opener. I say everybody. The Leopard uniforms all over the pinstripes. Benbrook had pinstripes last night. Missing outside ball 4. So Gabe Jarvis picks up an RBI on a base on balls. 2-0 Liberty-Eylau. Britton Pipes comes in to score. And it will be Will Tipton coming up, 8th batter of the inning. And looks like we're going to get a runner as Jarvis is going to have to get the gear on. Zyvan Banks going to come in and do a little running at first base if he can get that helmet together.
Zyvan did an incredible job closing out the game last night. I believe only walking 1, but it wasn't even his walk. It went to Barry.
Yeah, because he inherited the 2-0 count.
Yeah, and then the error, I don't think any of those runs that came in were earned.
Not that Zyvan gave up, no.
Yeah.
All right, first pitch fouled off by Tipton. Will last night 1 for 3. Pitch outside, little floater sidearm. Ball on a strike now to Will Tipton. Tipton's got the faux, is that turtleneck kind of thing he's got going on today? It's not cold out here. It's about 60. Missing way outside. Good job by Jasper Crane to keep another run from scoring, and Craig Jones is going to take the walk out. And these are painful walks, not because he doesn't want to come out and see his pitcher, but he just had hip surgery about 2 weeks ago and has just recently gotten rid of the cane. He had a walker for a couple of days. He had They caned for about a week, and he's walking out there now with none of that assistance to talk to his pitcher and catcher about. This is a pretty easy conversation. You got to throw a ball over the plate, son.
Yeah, and you got a 1-1 count here, already 2 outs. Just put it in the zone, let it be put in play, and see what your defense can do behind you. You have a pretty experienced infield and a really good outfield, in my opinion.
Wind blowing in here at Texas High, so hitting one out today may be a bit of a challenge.
It's been swirling all weekend, I've tend to notice, and so there's times that it can carry, there's times that it not. Longview hit one yesterday against Texas High, our only home run of the tournament so far, I believe.
Fouled out of play. Tipton stays alive. On deck, Arian Taylor, if we can get through one more batter. Leopards will have batted around in this first. We're going to make it to probably upper 60s today. This one lifted foul as it slices over the fence first base side. Of course, coaching down at first base, John Stilson. Texas High fans would be familiar with that young man. In fact, so would Hooks fans.
I was going to say, as well as Hooks.
Swing and a miss, and that's how the inning ends as Whit Haynes strikes out Tipton for the third out of the inning. Leopards pick up 2 runs on 1 hit, and they leave the bases loaded. 2-0's the score. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back here to Texarkana Gameday. All right, welcome back. 2-0 Liberty-Eylau with the lead. Hooks turn to bat. Let's talk about the Hornets lineup today. Ripken Birdwell is going to lead off, the shortstop. He'll be followed by center fielder Kason May. Hudson Davis, the left fielder, is going to bat in the number 3 spot. Jasper Crane, the catcher, hitting 4th. Over at second base, Braden McDonald. He'll be out in the number 5 spot. Hitting 6th is Whit Haynes, the pitcher. Bentley Powell, the right fielder, is going to bat in the 7th spot. Jackson Bloxham, the third baseman, batting 8th. And Grant Rampy at first base is going to hit 9th for Craig Jones, who just walked around us to the third base coaching box. Defensively for Liberty-Eylau, around the infield, it'll be first base, Dylan Neighbors, Maddox Moore at second, Tristan Howe is going to be at short, Britton Pipes third base. We've got Eli Jarvis out in left field. In center field is Will Tipton, right field Arian Taylor, and behind the plate Gabe Jarvis with Gunnar Keith on the mound.
Pretty similar defensively how we saw yesterday's game against Brittenbrook, only difference Gunnar Keith on the mound. Maddox Moore over at second. Zavin was over there in their win last night.
Yeah, I don't think the Leopards will change this defensive formation or batting order much. Zach Fowler tends to lock in and likes what he likes. Left-handed hitting. Ripken Birdwell up there. Which misses a little bit low and inside. Keith on the year, this is appearance number 3, his second start. He's pitched a little more than 4 innings. That one delivers a strike outside corner, 2-1 the count. 1-0 record, 4 hits in those 4 innings, giving up 1 walk, 2 strikeouts with a 0.22 earned run average. Ground ball trickles behind home plate, and the count.
And you could see that they were wanting to develop him in there at the end of the year and utilize him, especially this year after losing some of those arms, and looks to be a key factor here coming into district.
2-2 misses a little bit low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, the losses for the Leopards, the 4A state champions last year, aren't big in numbers, but big in quality. Lost W.T. Jones, who, of course, pitched and played shortstop. And that one misses down low. And then, of course, they lost Cam Gamble, who had been a revelation last year. He came over from Texas High and earned his way into more and more playing time and ultimately to left field when he wasn't pitching. And he became really the probably second most dependable pitcher behind W.T. Jones. So you lose your 1 and 2 in effect that you're having to replace.
So already Coach Jones taking an offensive timeout to talk with his guys up to bat and guys on deck, Case and May and Hudson Davis. Talking about situation here with the runner on first, no outs.
You're going to see the master of small ball. Now the question is, what does he like here? Do we hit and run? Do we bunt the ball? Do we go steal? Greg Jones does not like to be static. He likes people moving and putting pressure. Ground ball towards short. Howe's got it. Flipped to Moore. Relay off the mark. A little bit low into the outfield side. And unfortunately for the Hornets, they got caught in a rundown. As Case and May took a turn. Now it's, can you chase him down? They'll run him to second base, and the tag's going to be put on him. And the Leopards turn a very long double play.
I'm going to go out on assumption and say that is not what Coach Jones was telling them to do.
No, I wouldn't think so. And in fact, he and Fowler had a couple words. I would have a feeling you probably want to hear him and don't want to record him.
I'd want to record it and hear it later.
Yeah. But you couldn't put it on the air. 2 outs now for the Hornets. Pitch inside from Keith.
Hudson Davis now up for the Hornets.
Swing and a miss by Hudson Davis. Senior. This is a lineup without a whole lot of seniors. Braden McDonald and Hudson Davis really are the two. Ground ball toward Howe again. He's got it. Sets, throw a little bit low, but dug out by Dylan Neighbors at first base, and the Leopards get out of it. Lead-off walk with no problems. The rest is a 1-2-3, no runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. End of one, 2-0 Liberty-Eylau. We're back for the second here on Game Day.
Start your day with seamless transactions.
Add your State Bank card to your device's digital wallet and enjoy the convenience of tap-and-go payments. Easy, secure, and thankfully at your fingertips. Simplify your day with State Bank's digital wallet.
Your family, your bank, State Bank.
All righty, we welcome you back here to Game Day. Texas High Tournament, day number 2. 4 games on the schedule for today, as we're 6 teams into this tournament. Atlanta Hooks, Liberty-Eylau, Texas High, Benbrook, and Longview. All taking part in this tournament. I'm intrigued by Benbrook being here. They're out of Fort Worth, and to be honest with you, you kind of wouldn't expect to see them, but I think they got a pretty big lesson last year in the regional semifinals about baseball in East Texas. They rolled into that semifinal against Liberty-Eylau with a 30-win, 6-loss record, and had 22 out of the 23 games before they saw the Leopards they had won. Had some stupid number of shutouts, like 10, 14, something like that, with a couple of back-to-back no-hitters in the round before they saw Liberty-Eylau, and they got blasted 13-2 and lost 3-1 and ended up with their season ending. And I think they want to make sure they know what they're up against this year with almost the entire lineup back for the Bobcats. Leading off, Arian Taylor here in the top of the second inning. He faced Whit Haynes. This one poked towards second and past the second baseman into right field as Braden McDonald couldn't get to that ball. And the Leopards have a leadoff man on here in the second. And it gets them back to the top of the order. Second hit so far for Liberty-Eylau. They've had 1, now 2 hits, 1 walk, and 3 batters been hit by pitches.
Back to the top of the order, and you have a really good base runner in Arian Taylor.
Eli Jarvis, who flew out to right his first time up. There goes Taylor, first pitch. He stumbled just a little bit, and he's going to have to turn around and get back. This one's high, pop up in foul territory, and he gets back in plenty of time as Jackson Bloxham got that ball. They were often running on the first pitch. It almost looked like straight steal. It's certainly, if nothing else, a run and hit. There's Tristan Howe now, who's singled and scored in the first. 2-0 Liberty-Eylau as we play here in the second inning. think that's the thing you got to perfect is tying your shoes with batting gloves on. Just doesn't seem like it comes easily.
Maddox was struggling yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Throw over to first is Taylor, who was a pretty good, in quotations, football player this year. An outstanding season. Pitch out high. Yeah, Coach Willard's got a pretty reliable running back, it looks like, for the next 2 years.
Yeah, 2 uber talented kids in Daquan Prevost and Arian Taylor returning next year and set up for success for sure.
Pitch out that time, and I'll tell you what, Crane had maybe a chance at getting Taylor, who just ran out of his shoe. You see, there you go. We're going back to the conversation about tying your shoe with your glove. Probably didn't get it tied as much as he'd like to, and now he's got to try to figure out how to get it back on again. Looks like we're going to get a timeout and maybe an equipment issue for the catcher. That ball popped out of his glove. Yep, he's going to switch gloves. I think it ripped through the webbing. Cost him a chance at getting the pick off and maybe that second out. There's Tristan Howe now with advantage in the count, runner in scoring position. And this one's hit toward right. This is slicing away from the right fielder, and it's going to be foul. It hits right on the brim of the grass and the dirt over on the far side of right field and shot away from him. But luckily for the Hornets, that was in foul territory. Long run for Bentley Powell. Ground ball towards short. Birdwell's got it. His play is going to go to first base, and he'll get Tristan by about a step and a half, moving Taylor over to third. And there's 2 away for Britton Pipes. Pipes hit by a pitch and scored a run in the first. 2-0 Leopards. Top of the second. Whit Haynes sets, and here's the delivery. Floater up there, belt high for a called strike. Haynes, who struggled in the first inning to find the strike zone, has been much better here in the second. Comes back over the top, and a slow slurve that misses out of the strike zone for a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He seems to like the drop-down arm slot angle, but he went over the top that time. He goes back to sidearm delivery, and he misses inside. 2 balls and a strike to Britton Pipes with Dylan Neighbors on deck. A little bit up on the pitch, 3 balls and a strike. You can hear the wind as it's picking up in velocity. That one misses outside, so Pipes on base for a second time today. Both free passes hit by a pitch and now a walk. And here's Neighbors, who popped out to the shortstop his first time up.
Next up is first baseman Dylan Neighbors.
2-man umpiring crew going on today. Made note of that the other day. We were over at Pleasant Grove for Pleasant Grove and Liberty-Eylau, 4-man umpiring crew. Anywhere else, 2-man umpiring crew. So you get in the playoffs. Boy, they don't waste any time. Off goes Pipes, but ball's popped foul out of play. First base side by Neighbors.
I want to remind everybody, after this game, we got LE versus Texas High. We'll have that game live here on Texarkana Gameday as well. Make sure to tune in for that one. See what the Tigers have as far as pitching goes after a walk-off win over Longview yesterday, 11-10.
Pitch outside, Pipes goes. They'll fake the throw, see if they could get Taylor. a run down, but he's not going anywhere. So the count, I think it's now 2-1 for Neighbors. Again, I'm having a hard time seeing the scoreboard because of the glare from the sun. Pitch inside. And we get our first grumble from Coach Jones.
Not happy about pitch location.
Yeah. First base open. Here's the pitch to Neighbors. Hits this hard. Center fielder drifting, and he'll make the grab. That's Kaysen May to end the inning. Hit pretty well, but right at center field, and that'll end inning number 2. No runs, 1 hit. 2 men left on base. Still 2-0 Liberty-Eylau. Back in 30 seconds here on Game Day.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
All righty, welcome back. 2-0 Liberty-Eylau as the Hornets come to bat here in the bottom of the second. It'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters in their lineup, starting with catcher Jasper Crane facing Leopard pitcher Gunnar Keith. Didn't seem like so far has not seemed like we've seen a lot of the Hornets. They've had one inning of 3 up, 3 down. Feels like we've seen a lot of Leopards already. Which misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes now. It'll be Crane, McDonald, and Haynes to bat for hooks here in the second. Keith misses again a little bit outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Leopard pitchers do not waste time. They get the ball, they throw the ball. They very, very rarely slow the thing down. Gunnar Keith misses on 4 straight pitches. Second walk of the game for him. And here's Braden McDonald now, second baseman for the Hornets.
Second baseman, number 2, Braden McDonald.
Tell you what, that powdered blue's growing on me.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's got that Ranger Royals feel to it.
Yeah, especially the old Royals, like George Brett Royals.
Yeah, oh yeah. That one's in there for a strike. Now we would call them the Michael Walker Royals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Misses a little outside as Gabe Jarvis. An awkward throw down to first base, but Jasper Crane wasn't going anywhere. This one hit toward right. Taylor takes about a step in and about 3 steps back for the first out of the inning. Just a lazy little fly ball out to right. There are 0 clouds today. We were having a discussion before we started about what's the SPF to wear today. Oh, they got him. Yeah. Crane leaning the wrong way. A great move by Gunnar Keith, and this is the second inning in a row now that the Hornets have gotten themselves extra outs on the base paths. First time around, we saw Kaysen May, who went around first on a ball that was thrown wide on an attempted double play, and he got caught in a rundown and thrown out, and now Jasper Crane picked off first base. And there's nobody on base with 2 outs.
That was the case yesterday. They got out on a lot on the base pass as well, and so that's definitely something that they're going to want to clean up before district starts next week.
Ground ball toward Howe. Stays down, makes the throw. A little bit low again, but on the money. Dylan Neighbors with the collecting of the ball, and that's another 1-2-3 inning. It's a weird way to do it, but so far, tell you what, Gunnar Keith gives up a leadoff walk. They get the runner off on base, and 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Top of the third next. 2-0 Liberty-Eylau with the lead here on Game Day.
Yay! We're so excited you decided to become a member.
Thanks. I didn't think it would be this easy.
I know. We've opened up memberships so even more people can take advantage of our amazing services.
Are you gonna clean this up?
Become a new member and take advantage of all RRCU can offer. Experience the credit union difference anytime, anywhere.
No, seriously, are you gonna clean this up?
Do you RRCU?
All right, we are back. Top of the third inning. 2-0 Liberty-Eylau with the lead. Chuck Zach Doty. We got to do a show, Zach and Zach.
Well, yesterday it was all redheads. It was me, Buddy Shelton, and Billy Lavender. We were cooking out here in the sun.
I don't know how I feel about that. What do you call that, red cubed?
I guess.
Or red grilled is more like it. All right. Third inning coming up. Moore, McLeod, and Jarvis to bat for Liberty-Eylau. 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Still on the mound. With Haynes, like I said, we're expecting probably, I would think, minimum 4 innings for these pitchers in this game. And the way they're both throwing, why not? Maddox Moore takes one on the shoulder, so he's had 2 plate appearances. He's seen 2 pitches, and both of them have hit him. As long as he doesn't get hit on that toe, we're okay.
Yeah. On base percentage is going up.
Yeah, I don't know why Maddox is on the list. I don't know what he said mean to Whit Haynes. In comes McLeod, who also got hit by a pitch. That's 4 hit batters now for Whit Haynes. Control was a lot better in the second inning. He leads off the third with a hit batter. Now he throws a strike in there to Cade McLeod. McLeod DHing today. Hitting for the pitcher spot. Moore having a dive in. They'll be watering down the field. They're getting a little dusty. Oh, and he got caught the wrong way. Sure enough, good for the goose, good for the gander as Moore gets picked off base. That's the second time I've seen players try to get footing and kind of spin their wheels. Moore did the exact same thing. He leaned a little bit towards second base, and when he tried to make the adjustment back toward first, he kind of had that spinning misstep. Oh, this makes it even worse. Is into left field. McLeod dumps a base hit.
Good hit there by McLeod. He's done a great job coming up and making his name known in the lineup as a DH.
Yeah, that's how Maddox Moore started as a freshman. Get you some bats and work your way into the lineup. All right, Gabe Jarvis, who walked, now comes up. 1 on, 1 out. Submarine missing wide. Wind's shifted a bit now, actually blowing in the direction of the left field corner. A pitch on the inside for a ball, 2-0. Leopards have some speed they can go to, but they're content so far early in the game to let the guys who get on just do their thing. Another pitch wide, 3 balls and no strikes. Haynes walked a man in the first. That was Jarvis. Walked a man in the second. Pipes. He's behind 3 balls, no strikes. And there's ball 4 to Gabe Jarvis. Tell you what, the 5, 6, 7 hitters now for Liberty-Eylau are officially 1 for 1, but they've been on base 6 times. Here's Ivan Banks going to grab the batting helmet, or the running helmet, whatever helmet you want to talk about. He'll come in for the catcher. And Craig Jones making the long walk, and I think that may be all. Yep, he's going to ask for the baseball, and we're going to have a second pitcher as Braden McDonald comes in from second base and looks like he's going to be the next guy to throw for hooks. We'll take a break. We'll come right back while he warms up. 2-0 Leopards as they are threatening here in the third. We're coming back to game day.
My name is Doug Willett. I own M&M Tire and Auto Center. We've been here for over 40 years. We're just a mom and pop place. We service any type of vehicle that you can think of. We do front end alignments. We've got the best front end alignment machine guys here, and we also do AC work for the new Freon, which is the 1234 FY. We do that too. Plus tires. Now that's the major thing. Cooper Tire employees, we're really special with them. We give you 15% off, plus also you get your Goodyear employee refunds back on your tires, which is great for you. Extra value is what you get when you buy from Doug Willett. Don't worry, my guys will take care of you too.
All right, welcome back. New pitcher warming up. You can see Craig Jones standing next to his catcher, trying to get a feel for how Braden McDonald looks and giving some last instructions to Jackson Crane. He can't cross back over into the field now. He's already made a trip out there. Well, I say that. He's got a new pitcher in. He can make one trip to see him before you get that second one. 2-0 Leopards. They've got runners at first and second. And Will Tipton's the scheduled hitter now. Tipton's the lone strikeout that Whit Haynes collected today. He was showing bunt, and that pitch missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Line on Haynes, 2 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, 4 hit batters, 1 strikeout. He's got 2 runs that he's surrendered so far, but those 2 on base are his. Tipton's bunt in front of first base. Pretty nice bunt. They'll get the out at first, and the runners will move up. It was a little bit short and maybe a little bit further off. He might have had a chance to get on, but he was sacrificing the whole way.
I've always been impressed by the way that Will puts down a bunt. Yesterday, I think he got too caught up in poking at it at high pitches, but back to his usual form as far as laying down those bunts and being the guy that they can count on to do that.
Here's Arian Taylor now. Taylor with a single in the second. Got stranded at third base. He's got a chance to drive in a couple if he can get another base hit. Pitch missing, low and outside. Good job by Crane to keep that in the neighborhood. Braden McDonald, one of the 2 seniors. Young Hornets team.
There's 3, Jasper, Hudson, and Braden. Jasper's a senior as well.
Oh, well, they've got him on as a junior on the...
I believe he's a senior.
Pitch is a strike. Crane having a little trouble hanging on to it. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. If he's not, he will be soon. How about that?
He will be soon. There you go.
Eventually, we all make senior.
I feel like
I say that. Maybe I teach school. They don't all make senior.
Well, and so I say that, but at the same time, like I get so caught up in like, oh, I've seen this kid forever now.
Right.
It feels like they have to be a senior. Like Peyton Harrison with Atlanta, I feel like he's been playing 20 years for Atlanta. He's just so talented, and like you always remember his name.
Yep.
I guess he's been playing since he was a freshman and everything, and just one of those guys.
This one pop foul out of play. We were having that conversation the other day, and somebody asked about Browning, Spencer Browning. Like, oh yeah, he's a senior. I went, no, nope. I think he's just a junior. Feels like he and Hunter Rose and some of those kids at PG have been there forever.
Basically, that whole roster is juniors. It's crazy.
No one misses outside.
They have a really talented class.
Hawks,
graduating next year.
Yeah, Hawks not in this tournament. They're down in Lufkin playing where they took a pair yesterday. Still unbeaten. It's Pleasant Grove.
Okay. They've got some good wins to their name already, too.
And that pitch misses outside. And so the bases are loaded, and we roll back. Well, is it? Nope, 3-1. Sorry. That was me reacting to Arian Taylor reacting to he thought it was ball 4.
believe it was ball 4, but
Zach Fowler's not complaining too much about it. Which, by the way, Fowler's back in the dugout now.
yeah, rushing showed up.
Yeah. Well, that one is ball 4, and so I don't even have to erase. Taylor gets to jog down to first base, and now it's Eli Jarvis 0 for 2. Fly out and a foul out. Third at bat in 3 innings now for the Leopards leadoff guy. We still haven't batted around the order for hooks yet. Leopards are starting their 3rd time through.
And the Hornets have had base runners that are just getting out on the base pass, and that's what's causing them not to get through this order so far.
So this game feels like it's 6-0. It's 2. First pitch, a called strike to Jarvis as McDonald trying to find the range, gets that one on the outside corner, and he's ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. Leopards have already left 5 men on base. They've got them loaded right now. Hard ground ball right up the box. Birdwell gloves it. He's only going to have a play at first. Oh, and they got him at first base to end the inning. So the Leopards leave 3 more on. That's 8 through 3 innings. They get no runs. There was 1 hit. And again, 3 men left on base. Well, coming back for the bottom of the 3rd. Still just 2-0 Liberty-Eylau. You're on game day.
Tired of the annual hassle of hanging holiday lights? Or the recurring cost of paying someone else to do it? Forget those struggles and invest in the convenience and year-round beauty of Gemstone Lights. Permanent architectural and holiday lighting that you control. With Gemstone Lights, access over 1,000 pre-built patterns for festivities throughout the year. Easily alter them through our user-friendly app. When not in season, Gemstone Lights serve as stunning permanent architectural lighting, bringing a continual majestic touch to your home. Experience the magic of Gemstone Lights today. Available through Livewire Electrical Services, Texarkana's authorized Gemstone Lights dealer.
All right, welcome back. Bottom of the 3rd, bottom 3rd of the order coming up for the Hornets. Powell, Bloxham, and Rampy to bat. It's got a message a second ago. The A&M Texarkana men's basketball team won their opener in the Red River Athletic Conference tournament.
Good.
They were down in Alexandria playing LSU Shreveport. A blowout 21-point victory for the Eagles. So they move on to round 2.
Very nice. The baseball team has a game this afternoon as well at 2 o'clock at George Dobson Field. So if anybody can make it out to there, go support the Eagles. Some hometown kids over there.
And there will be more.
A lot more.
They're coming. First pitch inside for a ball. This one hit over the head of Britton. Pipes into left field. And they're going to take a turn and look at second. And there it is. Jarvis can't get the ball cleanly, and it'll allow Bentley Powell to go into second base. And this is the conversation we had earlier about the growing pains for Eli Jarvis. Having to run a long way and get that glove down, and in effect, he'll let the batter get an extra base out of that.
Was that the first hit of the game for the Hornets?
That was hit number 1. They had 2 base runners on with walks, both of them eliminated on the bases, and they've got the leadoff man on for a 3rd straight inning.
Jackson Bloxham now up, talented sophomore.
Showed bunt and bunted it back to the screen. Yeah, again, a game that felt like it should be 5-6, 7-0 LE. It's just 2-0, and the tying runs at the plate here in the 3rd. Leopards have out-hit the Hornets 3-1 at 4 hit batters. This one's popped up foul and playable. Pipes will grab it in foul territory for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, I believe that was 2 innings in a row that they left the bases loaded, stranded.
Yep.
And so
8 men left on base for LE, which is why this game feels like it should be a much different score. Win picking up a little bit more here in the 3rd. Here's Grant Rampy, the first baseman, up now, number 9 hitter. This one hard right back up the box, and Gunnar Keith couldn't handle that one. Run's going to come around, and he will score as the Hornets get on the board, making a 2-1 lead. The 7 and 9 hitters get hits here in the 3rd inning. And just like that, Hooks is back in this thing.
Only a one-run game. That's like we've been saying for the past few minutes. That's just kind of wild to say.
And if you're a Leopard fan, you watched your team almost give away a 9-0 lead yesterday. This is good lessons for them about finishing out games, and in this case, the importance of getting runs across when you got them on. You don't know when you'll get them on again. Back to the top of the order, Ripken Birdwell, who fouls one out of play. He was walked in the first inning, forced out at second base on a double play grounder by Case and May. Bunt he's going to put down, that's going to be foul, and the count's 0-2 now to Birdwell. I would think you could say multi-sport athlete.
Oh, yeah. Very talented quarterback. Past couple years for Hooks. District MVP multiple times.
Ooh. Keith just misses inside with the pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 away here in the third. Keith making sure that that tying run doesn't get down into scoring position. This one grounded past Maddox Moore, who was going to cover the bag. That's the problem over there. You start to act like you need to cover the bag on a runner moving over, and you get out of the normal position. Third hit of the inning for the Hornets as Birdwell gets on. And now Case and May's up.
And we saw that same thing with LD versus Solana in that game 1 walk-off. That second baseman crashed over to second base, and Jarvis was able to just put it through the gap, and that's how they walked off that game. Same sort of thing.
This one hit up in the air, playable. Moore's going to be the one most like to get it, and he will in foul territory for the second out. So a couple of foul pop-ups off the bats of Bloxham in May, and there's 2 away now, and Hudson Davis comes up. Davis grounded out to end the first. 3 hits in this inning. That's tied up the hit totals for each team at 3. Pitch misses a little bit inside. Again, this one's tournament play, doesn't count. They will see each other a week from Tuesday. That's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. I believe they go 2 hooks for the first road game of the season for Liberty-Eylau in their new district. This one top ground ball. Fielded by Keith, kind of stumbles a bit, his throws off the mark high. Run's going to come across the score. Here comes the second one, Birdwell being waved. Throw to the plate, and did he get a tag on? He did. I think he got him on the bill of the helmet. And it's a tie game, 2 apiece as the inning ends on that out at home plate. Hornet fans and Coach Jones all unhappy with the call at home plate, but the inning ends. There were 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, and 1 man left on base. All right, we're going to go to the top of the 4th, tied up at 2 here on Game Day.
Diamond Bank walks with its customers through every step of life, side by side. From the first checking account in high school to the first home or business loan, Diamond Bank is committed to helping you with all of your financial needs. Diamond Bank's growth is the result of the growth of our customers, and we want to help you feel that same growth. We are proud to have the ability to give back to our local school districts, community organizations, veterans, customers, and more in a multitude of ways. Come discover the Diamond Bank difference with local people making local decisions for our local community. Stop by our current location in Texarkana at 5714 Richmond Road or visit us online at www.diamond.bank to see our products and services. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Well, the Hooks Hornets showed up and decided third inning was going to be theirs. They got the Leopards out with bases loaded and then came back and picked up a couple runs of their own to make this a 2-2 ball game. And it was a little refreshing to see Coach Jones back in head coach mode being the third base coach, you can bark a little bit, but really it's the manager or coach's job to get after the umpire if you think a call is maybe not going your way. And for the last year or two, he's had to suppress a little bit of that head coach thing. Well, he doesn't have to anymore, and he gave an earful to the umpire walking by him back to the dugout. But his Hornets have tied this game up at 2, and we'll start the top of the 4th inning with Tristan Howe, Britton Pipes, and Dylan Neighbors coming to bat for LE.
And there will be some action in the LE bullpen. Looks like Zyvan Bakes and Dalen Garten headed down there, so look to see Zyvan come in the next inning or so.
You probably think, I think one more, but we'll see if Zach Fowler gives them. A lot of these coaches like we're going to give you the first batter and then we're going to pull you after that. This one lifted into right field, long run, and into foul territory, a diving attempt out there by
Whit Haynes.
Yeah, now second baseman Whit Haynes, who started the game on the mound. He's unable to corral that, and we'll come back again, and it's just a strike for Howe. Howe, one of those kids we talk about who has recently said he will play here in Texarkana in college, play for the Eagles, and head coach Chase Brewster is collecting all the little eggs he can in Texarkana. This one skied to center field. So what, center fielder started going one way, turned and came the other. Kason May started looking over his left shoulder, decided that's the wrong direction, did a basically 270 turn, and then catches that right at the shoe tops to retire Howe for the first out of the inning.
And now batting is third baseman Britton Pipes.
And the swirling wind that Zach had talked about earlier is now blowing in from left and out towards the right field foul fence. Ball one as that pitch misses. Britton Pipes. Pipes been on base twice, hit by a pitch, scored a run, and walked. That one high, 2 balls, no strikes. There's the second game of the day coming up when this one's over about 30 minutes later. Texas High back on their home field after a 11-10 win over Longview yesterday. They'll face the Leopards. And the great one, Razorback Billy Lavender, will take over the duties here on game day. I'm going to swap over to the radio version, and Billy's going to take over the streaming video part. The pitch outside corner for a called strike. Braden McDonald working his second inning worth of work. There is ball 4. So Pipes' on-base percentage is elevating as he's on 3 times today.
Now batting is first baseman Dylan Neighbors.
Another guy who's went up a lot last night with 3 walks was Dylan Neighbors.
Yeah, he's walking like crazy. 2 more walks and a hit batter today. You would either say A, he's got a good eye, or B, pitchers are being really careful with him and just not giving him anything. Here's Neighbors. Ground ball toward Ripken. Got it. They'll make the throw out. Ball dropped. Ripken was a little bit awkward with that play. He had it, and usually that's a play you're going to either, I guess, underhand or at least run it toward. He kind of sidearmed it and waited a little late, put Whit Haynes in bad position, and Pipes coming in on him. He couldn't hold on to the ball, and so runners are at first and second now, and you put him an error, I think, on the shortstop on that. Maybe you change that to an error on the second baseman. Pitch down low as Maddox Moore comes up. At least Moore's going to get to see a second pitch this at bat. He's been up twice and been hit by pitches the first pitch each time. Donald stepping off. Of course, he got hit by the previous pitcher, Whit Haynes, on both those first 2 at bats. That one's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Maddox Moore. On deck for the Leopards, Cade McLeod. Again, we're getting into that heart of the lineup where they've been on base every time. Moore, McLeod, Jarvis. 6 appearances at the plate. 6 times they've been down at first base. Balked. Yep. Well, the runners move up 90 feet on the balk by McDonald. So Moore gets a couple of RBI chances now with 2 in scoring position. 2-2 ball game. Leopards picked up 2 in the first. Hornets picked up 2 in the third. That one misses. Tell you what, they thought about it for a second. Britton Pipes took a couple of steps and decided maybe not far enough away from Jasper Crane to risk getting thrown out at home plate.
He did a good enough job of keeping it in front of him to where it didn't get too far away. Looked like BMAC was doing a good job of getting off the hill to get over there as well. Looks like Maddox got some dirt in his eye.
Yeah, and there's nothing good about that. Now you're going to go back in there and try to find that little white thing coming towards you when you got grit in your eyeball. Blink, blink, blink. And pitches outside. If you're Maddox Moore, that's what you're hoping for. Please don't throw one in there because I still can't really focus. 3 balls now on Moore. The Leopards right back to runners on the base. And there's going to be bases loaded for a 3rd straight inning. Liberty-Eylau has the bases loaded. They loaded them up in the second. Well, actually, they did it in the first. 3 on in the first, courtesy of 3 hit batters and a walk. 2 runners on in the second. They loaded up the bases in the third on walk, hit batter. And they got them loaded here in the fourth. Walk, error, walk. First pitch to McLeod, fouled back. He's been hit by a pitch and singled. 2-2 game. Leopards so far have had a whopping 11 runners on base. And he gets hit by a pitch, and at least one's coming in now. Second time McLeod's been hit by a pitch. That is the 5th hit batter for Hornets pitchers. And an RBI again for McLeod. That's the 2nd RBI he's gotten getting hit by a pitch. Pipes comes in to score. Neighbors down to 3rd. Moore goes to 2nd, and McLeod down to first base with Gabe Jarvis coming up. Gabe with 2 at-bats and 2 walks so far. (3-2) Leopard lead here in the 4th. These are time-limited games. This one's lifted out of play, foul. I believe we're working on an hour 45 minutes. Ish,
yeah. It can fluctuate, as we saw with that game against Texarkana and Longview.
Ugh. Well, even last night, there's no way that finished an hour and 45 in the.
Well, so I think they were letting them complete a full 5 innings, if I had to guess from that one.
Pitch down low.
Making it worth Ben Brooks' time to come all the way down here.
Well, they're here for 5 games. Yeah. They actually have more games than anybody else. They picked up 2 yesterday. 1 yesterday.
2 yesterday.
2 yesterday.
Yeah,
that's right.
Atlanta.
They were back-to-back.
Yeah, I think they went 1-1 yesterday against Atlanta and LE.
Yep.
And today they have Hooks and Longview.
And they got LE again tomorrow morning.
And they'll make the trip back.
Greg Jones making the trip as well, as he'll take the walk out to the mound again. Yeah, he's waving in his left fielder. Looks like Hudson Davis is going to get the call. We'll move some bodies around, and looks is going to bring in their 3rd pitcher of the afternoon. Or I guess it's afternoon now, maybe not. Getting close. All right, it's a lot of body shifting. 3-2 ball game. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll let the new pitcher warm up. We'll get you right back here on Game Day.
Hi, I'm Brooklyn Stevens, General Manager and Marketing Director for Local Habit Coffee Company. Local Habit exists to spark a revival of local communities and the beauty they inherently possess by bringing people together over exceptional third-wave coffee. We then want them to take the joy and good vibes they get from us out into their local town and go make something good happen.
One of our top priorities is providing exceptional customer service. We want to make sure our customers left better than when they came in. Our customers should walk away thinking about how incredible their coffee was, how nice and genuine their barista was, and how inviting and comforting our space is.
Come by today and enjoy a hot cup of coffee with us.
All right, new pitcher for the Hornets. Warming up is Grant Rampy, the first baseman, and that means wholesale changes for the Hornets as they move bodies all over the place. Rampy goes from first base to the mound. Pitcher, Braden McDonald's going to go out to left field. Hudson Davis is going to move into third base. Jackson Bloxham's going to move over to first base. So what we started this game with, the only guy in the right position where we started in the infield is Ripken Birdwell. I guess you could call the catcher as well, Jasper Crane. Everybody else is shifting around today. We've got still some work to do for before we can close the book on McDonald, as Braden is right now responsible for 1 run, but he's also got the 3 guys on base he's got to deal with. If they come in to score, they are credited to him.
And Rampy will start this count 2-1, so technically this batter will still go to McDonald as well.
Yep. Rampy left-hander.
Lefty-lefty matchup.
Yeah. And misses outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. These are such difficult positions coaches put these pitchers in. You inherit, bases loaded, and a count, and I'm already behind. And if I miss on 2 pitches, I walk a guy in. And that's exactly what just happened.
Same sort of situation as Ivan was in last night against Ben Brook, but he ended up doing really well.
So Dylan Neighbors comes in to score to make it a 4-2 Leopard lead. Will Tipton up now. We're going to get Zivan back in the game running for Gabe Jarvis. Jarvis now 3 walks today.
So the Leopards finally taking advantage of the bases loaded now.
See if they can do more with it as Tipton's up. Strikeout and a sacrifice bunt. And foul tips that one to Crane's glove for strike 1. This will be the first official batter that will belong to Grant Rampy. Ground ball, double play try. Birdwell touches second himself, throw. Oh, they say got him. Stilson not happy, but that's the call. 2 runs come across for the Leopards, and how about one more time they leave the bases loaded? They've left 11 on through 4 innings, but they do regain the lead. On 2 runs, there were no hits, and again, 3 men left on base. 4-2 the score. We're coming back, bottom of the 4th. Coming up next here on Game Day.
Tired of banking fees and complicated accounts? With State Bank's My Free Checking Account, enjoy no minimum balance and 0 monthly fees. Get a free gift just for opening your checking account, because we believe banking should be rewarding. Great for personal accounts and businesses too.
All right, welcome back. Looks like Gunnar Keith's going to come out for at least the beginning of the 4th inning for Liberty-Eylau. The numbers on McDonald now, 1 2/3 innings. He gave up 2 runs, no hits, 4 walks, a hit batter. And so the Hornets trying to put themselves back into this game after they trailed by 2 runs for the first 3 innings worth, got back and scored 2 themselves in the 3rd. Now they find themselves right back down 2 again. Crane, McDonald, and Haynes to bat here in the 4th for Hooks. As we are just about to cross over to noon. Put this game at officially about an hour and a half. So you figure we've got this one to finish and probably the 5th inning to get through.
If I had to guess.
Unless action moves really quickly, which has not been the case so far today. Swing and a miss for Crane, as Crane has walked in his only at bat so far today. And Gunnar Keith quietly has had a nice day.
He's been really impressive in this outing.
Gave up 2 runs and 3 hits, all in the 3rd inning. Before that, not much of anything. This one topped. Pipes has it. Throw on the run. Good stretch by Neighbors at first base. Tell you what, the throws from the Leopard infield have not necessarily been on target today. They've been short or off the mark an awful lot. Neighbors did a nice job over there digging out low balls. That one off the mark toward the outfield side, but helping out his third baseman.
I wonder how much of an adjustment it's been transferring from Eli over there at first to Neighbors, just with height different than in the way that they're able to stretch and different things of that nature.
No, McDonald.
Then again, Neighbors was the starting first baseman in the state championship a couple years ago. So
that's right. Neighbors can play behind the plate, first base, or pitcher. Here's McDonald now. Flew out to right his first time up. He fouls this one. 2 strikes on him now. On deck hitter, Whit Haynes. Hornets trailing Liberty-Eylau by a 4-2 score. Looks coming into this, I believe now on the season, are they 5-2? This one lifted, and it's in foul territory. It's Neighbors who will circle underneath that and make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. It's the 3rd foul pop-out for the Hornets through 4 innings. With 2 away, Whit Haynes up. He grounded out to short first time up. Really only been 1 ball in the outfield that was playable. McDonald's fly out to Taylor back in the 2nd inning. Everything else has either been in foul territory or ground balls. Ground ball again, this one toward Moore. He's got it, makes the throw, 1-2-3 inning. Well, we wondered if Gunnar Keith was going to come out for a 4th. He does. Just has to throw about 8 pitches to get out of inning number 4. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Still a 4-2 lead. Liberty-Eylau will come to bat at the top of the 5th when we return here on Game Day.
Meet Tony Langford Roofing, your trusted name in roofing solutions. Decades of experience and top-notch service. Passionate about your home safety, we treat every roof like our own. From repairs to full installations, we've got your home covered. Upgrade your roof with our variety of styles and materials. For roofs that last long, choose Tony Langford Roofing. We've got you covered.
All righty, we are back. 5th inning, 4-2 Liberty-Eylau lead. If you're just hopping on board, Leopards picked up a couple runs in the 1st and added 2 more runs in the 4th. Hooks with their runs in the 3rd inning. Hooks has been through 3 pitchers. This is Grant Rampy on the mound right now. He is the 3rd Hooks pitcher of the day. Liberty-Eylau so far. Gunnar Keith has gone the full way for Zach Fowler's Leopards. And for Liberty-Eylau, they roll with the lineup. Let's see, we're back to Taylor to lead things off. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters for the Leopards. Of course, LE, the defending 4A state champion, and you can't even defend it. You drop down to 3A this year. And if you are familiar with what's going on through UIL, there are no more real state tournaments anymore. It's just the state championship games. Semifinals now are going to be played at neutral locations and can be 3-game series. First pitch to Taylor, who's singled and walked. He's in there for a called strike.
And talking with Coach Fincher, what it seems like their regional matchup could be, or semifinal matchup could be played in Norman, Oklahoma. Yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous.
It's the same sort of thing as like Texas High and PNG playing in Shreveport or in Natchitoches for football. It just kind of makes that triangle at that point. And then same sort of thing with PG and whoever they play out in West Texas having to meet in Norman, Oklahoma, of all places.
1-2 pitch lifted out of play foul and into the stands behind us. It's the metallic thud, not the flesh and bone thud, so that was okay. Which misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, of course, for PG, because of the way they've not only done away with the state tournament, now they've also split everybody into big school, small school, Division I, Division II, kind of like football is. That one misses 3-2. PG, who has been the last few years eliminated by Salina, may avoid seeing the Bobcats if PG happens to go small school.
It'll all depend on Pittsburgh. If Pittsburgh's able to make it, then they'll go small school. If not, then they'll be big school.
And how about Taylor? His third at-bat gets him on for a third time today. 2 singles and a walk for Taylor.
Great at-bat by him, battling back, full count. Puts it opposite way and gets on base.
He was in the hole 1 and 2 and got back in there. All right, back to the top of the order, Eli Jarvis. He is the lone Leopard. Well, I take that back. There's 2 of them. Will Tipton's the other, who have not gotten on base today. Ground ball towards second. Quick flip to Birdwell. The return not in time, so it'll be a fielder's choice. Taylor's forced out at second base. And Eli Jarvis gets on the fielder choice grounder. There's one away, and here's Tristan Howe. Howe with a single, a ground out to short, and a fly out to center. Not sure what Coach Fowler was barking at, but he wasn't happy about something. I don't know if that was they missed a sign or somebody didn't go as quickly as they wanted him to.
I don't know if he was happy with where Eli put the ball.
Yeah. Well, if you're
getting that lead runner out.
You can put it anywhere you want to. This game's real easy. Doesn't work that way, however. 1 ball, no strikes.
If you're Zach Fowler and the way that they work, they feel like they're able to put the ball wherever they want. So
if you can do that, then they pick him off. Let's see. Jarvis throw down to second base, stumbles awkwardly and is tagged out, and he kind of makes contact with Birdwell. He got his cleat caught and kind of tumbled into, and I think maybe his leg may have caught Birdwell. And I don't know if he didn't catch Birdwell in the face with his cleat. We still don't have Ripken picking his head up, but it looks as though he may have gotten booted with that cleat in the face. And they're going to walk him into the dugout. Luke's going to have to make a decision about what they want to do. He's going to have to get looked at by the trainer. Well, there's 2 outs now in the inning as Eli was thrown out trying to steal second base. Now Craig Jones having to make a decision about, do I wait on my shortstop to get cleaned up, or do I put somebody else in the game for a minute?
So only 2 players on the bench for the Hornets are Ashton Odom and Drake Shelton. Not a deep squad, as they're still waiting on maybe some kids to come over from basketball or to call some kids up from JV as well. And so,
yeah, it's kind of hard going with 10 players, 11 players.
Well, and prior to this week, Ashton Odom wasn't even on the varsity roster. He just joined here recently. And so it was really only Drake Shelton on the bench. So they're having them work around and figure out what they can do with what they have.
Yeah, that's the delay we're in right now, and it looks like the answer is going to be they're going to clean him up and get him back out there. We have nobody on bases at all. We're in a timeout waiting to clean up Ripken Birdwell, and Craig Jones is coaching up his first baseman about where he wants him to be standing.
It's always a time to learn.
That's right. If you're Craig, it's wasted time if you're not coaching up something.
Looks like Ripken's going to be cleaned up and all right. Put on his hat, bring out his glove, and return back to the field.
Yeah, I can't imagine you're going to keep a football player off the baseball field just because he got kicked in the face. All right, so there's 2 away. Bases are empty. Tristan Howe coming to the plate. Leopards kind of all over the place in this 5th inning. And Arian Taylor that singled, and apparently a misplaced ball on the hit and run by Jarvis got Taylor forced out at second, and then Jarvis basically got picked off first base and got thrown out trying to get down to second, where he tumbled and booted Ripken Birdwell, looked like, in the head. And first pitch to Howe is called strike. Tristan with a single and a run scored, ground out and a fly out.
It'll be second pitch, 1-1, the count.
2 balls and 1 strike. Grant Rampy in relief of Braden McDonald, in relief of Whit Haynes. This one lifted to shallow center. It looks like center fielder's going to call off everybody and make the grab, and that's how the inning is going to end. Kason May retires Tristan Howe for the second time today, and the Leopards finally leave no one on base. No runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. We're going to go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 4-2. Liberty-Eylau with the lead here on game day.
Sorry you're under the weather, Susie. Here are those loan docs.
Thanks, James. I'm so glad we didn't have to delay this closing.
Tissue?
Thanks.
Secure and safe loan closings, or take care of just about any banking task. Experience the credit union difference. Anytime, anywhere. With RRCU's digital banking. Do you RRCU?
All right, bottom of the 5th, bottom of the order. Powell, Bloxham, and Rampy to hit for hooks. Hornets trailing 4-2. First game of 4 games out here today. The Texas High Tournament, if you're just hopping on board. Getting Chuck Zach Doty. Billy Lavender coming up next as Texas High and Liberty-Eylau about to meet in the second game of this afternoon's action. Of course, there's a lot of attention to the track meet because it is Waddy Myers weekend here in Texas High.
Fun little note, it'll be the last time that Prevost and Tredarian Ball match up in a race over there at the track meet, as next year they'll both be college football stars, and so by this time, and so
you may want to pause the baseball game to watch that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, talking to Coach Greer, I was like, hey, can we put them in the same lane next to each other?
No kidding. Gunnar Keith back out here for the 5th, and there's going to be a base hit.
Up by Bentley Powell again, the leadoff guy. He had that leadoff double last time he was over, correct?
Yep. He now 2 for 2. The Hornets have had the leadoff man on in 4 of the 5 innings today. Problems for them have been on the bases, where they got wiped out in the 1st and the 2nd, and then ultimately in the 3rd had the potential, at the time, go-ahead run thrown out at home plate. So they've made 3 outs on the bases. Otherwise, they may have the 5-4 lead. Jackson Bloxham, who fouled out to the 3rd baseman his first time up. It's hard to believe the Hornets are just coming around for the 2nd at-bat for the bottom of their order. And this one hit to center. This is away from, and a diving attempt by Tipton. Can't get there, and it careens off his body. Arian Taylor struggling to find the baseball, and runners are going to be safe at the corners. Long run for Tipton on a ball that just kept moving away from him, and that's a base hit for Bloxham. And the Hornets have the tying run at first, and the go-ahead run comes to the plate with the number 9 batter, Grant Rampy, up there. Rampy with a single and a run scored himself in the 3rd. Leopards would trade a run for a double play ball, I'm afraid, right here. Rampy showing bunt. Oh boy, they had the runner picked off. And Gunnar Keith held on to it. Dylan Neighbors trying to tell him, here's where you need to go with it. Gunnar double clutch just a little bit, and that kept him from throwing him out. Bunt by Rampy up in the air, but it'll be foul and a little out of reach of the try by Gabe Jarvis for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. They'll send the runner from first. They're trying to get that tying run to scoring position And they do. Maddox Moore cuts off the throw to try to keep the runner scoring from third. But honestly, the runner from third's not that important. The game is more about that runner at second base now, as Bloxham moves into scoring position. Ball and a strike now to Rampy. That's a strike. Gunnar Keith brings that one right in there waist high. He's ahead 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Nobody out in the 5th. This one lifted as it slices fouls on the first base side. Probably advantageous for Liberty-Eylau. That one went foul, even if they'd have gotten a chance to grab it, because the runner from third was certainly going to be able to tag up and score from there. You may have heard Craig Jones in the previous pitch barking at Rampy that he was intending to try to squeeze in a runner that time, and he wanted Rampy to put down a bunt. I don't think
missed the sign, apparently.
Grant picked up the sign. Of course, baseball signs are not, the easiest thing to pick up. Each coach has their own version of what they want to do, and they get more and more complicated sometimes, it seems. Ground ball. It's going to get 1 run in. Howe's going to make the throw to first to retire Rampy, who manages to pick up the RBI anyway. See, Coach, I got him in. He's thrown out 6-3, but it's a 4-3 ball game as Bentley Powell comes in to score, blocks him to third. And with 1 away, it's back to the top of the order, and Ripken Birdwell. Birdwell walking a single.
Hopefully his vision's all good after taking that hit over there on second base.
Gunnar Keith starts him inside low for ball 1. Gunnar tried to olay that grounder that Rampy just hit. And you're almost, if you're coach, you don't want your pitcher doing that. It feels like it's just going to be a deflection. Oh, he hits this one hard and deep, way back off the wall. We're going to have a tie game, and Ripken stops at second base with an RBI double. And the Hornets battle right back and tie it up again. Ripken on base 3 times today. He's 2 for 2 with a walk, and now an RBI double. And now the go-ahead run goes into scoring position for Case and May with just 1 away here in the 5th. Hornets have picked up 4 runs on 2 3-hit innings. Once in the 3rd, now once here in the 5th, and looking to get more. And while the Leopards have left 11 men on base, Hooks has left 1 man on base. Ground ball toward Howe. Drops the ball, throw across high. Hornets going to come on in to score as Birdwell comes to the plate, and Hooks takes its first lead of the game at 5-4. Error on Howe. And Hooks has fought their way back to take the lead in this one, and Hudson Davis coming up. He's grounded out and reached on an error, and you just got to shake your head. That's how baseball can be sometimes, and it's not going the Leopards' way today. All these guys on base, you just can't let them on there and not score. Throw over to first, and diving back in is May. That's a strike. This thing holds the way it is. Gunnar Keith's going to be the unfortunate recipient of a loss. This one ground ball toward Moore. He's got it, flipped to Howe, relay. Ooh, good stretch by Neighbors, who manages to get his foot back on the bag just in time to complete the 4-6-3 double play. However, Hornets pick up 3 runs in the inning, courtesy of 3 hits, an error, and a man left on. We're going to go to looks like maybe the 6th inning. 5-4 lead for Hooks when we come back here on Game Day.
Commercial services, electrical panel installation, circuit breaker installation, led by Master Technician Jay Strickland, and multiple specialty services.
All right, we're going to get one more inning in anyway, as Liberty-Eylau's got Britton Pipes, Dylan Neighbors, and Maddox Moore, 3-4-5, trailing for the first time in this tournament. They had a 9-0 lead and won 9-7 last night against Benbrook, and had a 2-0 lead, a 4-2 lead, and now they trail 5-4 to Hooks, who remarkably won 2 runners left on base in this game for the Hornets. 11 left on through 5 innings for Liberty-Eylau. But you got a chance to come back and rally now. You rallied once when they gave up the lead. They got a chance to do the same thing with the heart of the lineup up there. You'll start with Britton. As Pipes today, 3 trips to the plate, 2 walks, and been hit by a pitch. And he has scored 2 runs. If you're Zach Fowler, this is your test. How are your kids going to react? Game they have dominated for the most part. They find themselves trailing in. Rampy now looking to try to close the door on what the Leopards hope would be a comeback. First pitch in there for a called strike. Rampy's been good since he's coming in relief. This one ripped foul. A half-hearted barehand attempt by Ricky Rushing. Smart not to make a more aggressive attempt at that. You want to keep all those fingers. No balls, 2 strikes to Pipes. They'll set up outside on him. Oh, close. Rampy tried to bring that back over the plate. And you could hear the Hornet parents who thought that was strike 3. Here's the 1-2 delivery. This one lifted into shallow center. May still coming in, and he's got plenty of room for out number 1. 4th put out for the Hornet center fielder today. All right, Neighbors 0 for 3, popped out to the shortstop, flew out to center, reached on an error, and scored a run. First pitch inside and low, ball 1. On deck, Maddox Moore. There's ball 2. Hornets 5-2 record, we said at the beginning of this. Leopards 4-3. That's a strike. As Neighbors was taking that all the way. 2 balls and 1 strike. And again, if you're just joining us, these 2 teams will see each other March the 11th. This one hit a long way into the gap. Long run, but getting there is May, and that's out number 2. Loud, long out, but Case and May is up to the task. And the Leopards are down to their final out of this game. Maddox Moore, who's been hit by 2 pitches and walk. His walk in the 4th inning, finally got a chance to see more than 1 pitch in that bat. That one inside for another ball. Strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Leopards with 4 runs, and on the day they have picked up 4 hits. And that's a strike, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rampy just gets the ball and gets the job done. It's not necessarily impressive stuff. He just throws strikes. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball. Rampy will field the position. Nope, went past him. Third base can't get it, and Moore's going to get on base. Bad toe and all. He had to run out the grounder, and he keeps the Leopards' hopes alive with an infield single. 5th hit for Liberty-Eylau this game. They have been beneficiaries of 5 hit batters and 7 walks to go along with those 5 hits. And they stay alive for Cade McLeod, who's been hit twice and singled. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. McLeod tops one foul third base side. Well, I say foul, maybe not. Throw off the mark. Moore's going to go around second to third base. And the Leopards have the tying run at third. That ball looked like it was going to be foul, but apparently it stayed fair. And the throw from third base Davis off the mark. And that allows the Leopards' inning to continue. And Gabe Jarvis comes up. Jarvis up 3 times, walked 3 times.
Looks like we're going to get a runner maybe for Cade.
Yeah, probably so. He would represent the go-ahead run. And here we go. We're going to get
number 20.
23. I think that's Barry that's coming in there. Ethan Barry that's going to run. Ethan was wearing 25 last night in the white uniform. He threw everybody off because we don't have a 25 on the roster, which means one of 2 things. He forgot his uniform or somebody gave him the wrong white one as opposed to the red one.
Well, we had the same thing with Zyvan last year. He was switching between 15 and 24 depending on what uniform he wore.
All year. Pitch outside, ball 1. Tipton's the on-deck hitter. Lippard's trying to tie or retake the lead from Hooks. That's a bender in there for a called strike. You throw that at the lefty, break it back over the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tried to loop another one. That one stayed up a little too high. 2-1. You know, historically, the last 2 years, the Leopards have trouble with junk ball pitchers, and that's not a slam. It's just guys that don't really throw a dead fastball. They really struggle with. This one, ground ball, is going to tie this game up, and they're going to send around the second runner. Barry's got to get down. He will. The Leopards retake the lead with 2 outs in the 6th, and it looked like they were done. A single by Moore, who legs out one. An error on the third baseman on McLeod's ball. And now Jarvis knocks them both in with a 2-out single, and Liberty-Eylau goes back on top 6-5.
So
crazy game.
Zyvan Banks now up to bat. They sent Blaylock over to second for Gabe Jarvis.
So Zyvan getting his first at bat in this game. He'll hit for Will Tipton. And he may end up staying in the game.
Yeah, they'll end up making that switch, I believe, for him to go to the mound.
Shows bunt, ball gets, I actually hit him. Yeah, you say he's going to go to the mound. He's slow walking that down to first base. And there's another hit batter. That is 6 in this game for Hooks pitchers. They have given 13 free passes for Leopard hitters today. 7 walks and 6 hit batters. And here's Arian Taylor. Taylor 2 singles and a walk himself. That walk number's got to be wrong. It feels like there's more than 7. Nope, it is 7. That's right. Pitch up high. 2 balls, no strikes. Greg Jones has come on out. See if he's going to make another pitching change. He's looking around. You look like he looks like a guy at the dance, and there's a bunch of girls along the wall. You're trying to figure out which one am I going to ask to dance with me. He took a long look out right, and went, well, I don't know. And then looked at first, I don't know. And decided, yeah, I think the guy at third. You're it. You're the one I want to dance with. So
it'll be Hudson
Davis is going to get to come in and become the 4th Hornet pitcher of the game. And that means the shifting of everybody will happen again.
Yeah, Bloxham will go to third, and Rampy will go back to first, I believe.
So back to what was the original lineup defensively. And Hudson Davis gets a chance to try to close this thing out. Well, I tell you what, Grant Rampy was really good and right on the verge of finishing this. And that little bitty bleeder that Maddox Moore hit just was soft enough it got him on base. And then McLeod's ball that hung on the third base line, just bad play and throw over there by, at the time, Hudson Davis, allowed the Leopards inning to continue. They got a clean hit from Jarvis, and all of a sudden they take the lead back again. This was just about over. It felt like the Leopards were done, and let's get ready for the next game.
And they have 2 really good runners on base as well, and so it's a matter of if you got something on the ground. Well, and Arian Taylor, I mean, he's no slow guy either up to bat. So, I mean, really good base runners. You're going to have to be really good with fielding here and get your throws over and make a good play.
Rampy went 2 innings. He didn't strike out anybody, but also didn't walk anybody. Hit 1 batter, gave up 3 hits. And, of course, behind him, the error looms large. He so far has given up 2 runs, but again has the responsibility of the 2 runners on base.
Hudson is inheriting a 2-0 count to AT with 2 runners on base.
No, that's true. I'm a batter early on closing the door on Rampy. He's actually the one responsible for what would happen with Taylor. All right. Try again. You expect Gunnar Keith's day probably over for Liberty-Eylau. 2-0 count. You got to be careful with Arian Taylor. He can hit one a long way. This one grooved right down the middle for a called strike.
Hudson, a predominant starter last year. Really good arm for the Hornets.
This one misses low and away. And I tell you what, they're going to try to pick that runner off. Little bit far off the bag was Tyson Blaylock. That ball got away from Crane, but not far enough. And Blaylock took about 2 extra steps more than he probably should have. And Crane said, all right, well, I'm going to take a shot at picking you off then. 3 balls and a strike. Runners at first and second. They're taking off. Pitch is in there for a called strike. The runners advance up a base as there's no throw. So now Taylor's got a chance to knock in a couple more. 3-2 pitch. Missed outside, bases loaded.
Another full count at bat for Arian Taylor that he worked into getting on base. Very good at bat from the talented sophomore.
All right, well, how about loaded bases for the 4th time in this game for LE? Top of the order, Eli Jarvis, 0 for 4. Fly out, foul out, ground out, and fielder's choice grounder. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 balls, no strikes.
Stopped there by Jasper Crane.
Blaylock standing at third. Banks at second. Taylor at first. Here's the pitch. This is fouled out of play over the third base dugout. Hit that off the handle. Count's 2-1 now. Some pretty good games between these two teams in district starts. This one hit toward left, right on the money. It's kind of leaning back toward the left fielder, and that's where the things are going to end as McDonald pulls it in. But the Leopards pick up a couple more runs. They leave the bases loaded for a 4th time today. 2 runs come across on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 3 men left on base. For the game, 14 runners left on for Liberty-Eylau. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Gunnar Keith going back to the mound when we return here on Game Day. All righty, welcome back. I'm whipping my way through the lineup here for the Leopards. Arian Taylor with 2 hits leading the way. Cade McLeod with a couple of RBIs on being hit by pitches today, as the Leopards have managed to squeak out 6 hits in the game and have left 14 runners on base. They've gotten the advantage of having been walked 8 times and having 6 hit batters. Only struck out once today. Eli Jarvis, who we bragged on to start the game about this high on-base percentage, 0 for 5. All right, for the Hornets, it's Crane, it's McDonald, it's Haynes. And the first pitch to Jasper Crane, in there for a called strike. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out. His team trails 6-5. They need a base runner. He fouls this one out of play. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Gunnar Keith still out there. He's given up 5 runs, 6 hits. For the day, has walked 2. This is a grounder back toward him. He can't handle it. Howe does. On the run, they'll retire Jasper Crane for the first out of the inning. And Gunnar has 2 walks, no strikeouts.
Really good at bat there by Gunnar. Might have questioned why he even came back out this inning after struggling the last one, but done a really good job so far.
First pitch, belt high strike to Braden McDonald, 0 for 2, fly out and a foul out. Oh, another one, same spot. Boy, he's hitting the glove, and Jarvis isn't even having to move it. No balls, 2 strikes. Bouncing that one past everybody. We thought Zyvan Banks was going to be coming in to start this inning the way the substitution stuff went, but of course it's a tournament and they're probably doing a little bit of whatever you want to do. Will Tipton's back out in center field. This one fouled. It gets a little bit of the catcher and a little bit of the home plate umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Of course, Leopards were down to what we thought was their final out and rallied back and took the lead. This one fouled again off. He kind of pool cued that off the end of the bat.
Good job by Braden McDonald fighting in this at bat.
Tell you what, when you see Bentley Powell, if he comes back up, impressed by these batting gloves he's wearing. Got the whole sparkle thing going on these. This one lifted into shallow left center. And it's going to be Eli Jarvis who makes the catch out there for out number 2. Here's Whit Haynes now. Haynes 0 for 2, couple of ground outs. For the Hornets, their offensive production really came from the bottom part of the order. Powell 2 for 2. Bloxham got a hit, stole a base and scored a run. Rampy with a single and a run. There's a called strike, and of course up at the top you got Ripken, who's 2 for 2, 2-run double. This one poked into right. Coming on is Taylor. Will catch it waist high. And Liberty-Eylau. It's a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 6th. And I guess they're running out for another one. All right, let's keep playing. I think we must be changing the time limit today. We'll take a break. Still a 6-5 ball game when we return here on Game Day.
Start your day with seamless transactions.
Add your State Bank card to your device's digital wallet and enjoy the convenience of tap-and-go payments. Easy, secure, and thankfully at your fingertips. Simplify your day with State Bank's digital wallet.
Your family, your bank, State Bank.
All righty. Welcome back. Chuck Zach Doty. Live from Texas High, where apparently the time limit's 2 hours today. They started a little bit earlier today, and I guess they're letting them go the 2 hours worth. We're at an hour 46, which means we're going to get at least one more full inning in because they start the top of this 7th inning. We're going to play the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, we got to allow both teams equal opportunities.
Yeah. Leopards won't have to worry about warming up for the next game. They'll be plenty warm. Texas High will get some time to get ready to warm up before we start the second game of what will be 4 today. Leopards opening things up here in the 7th, Tristan Howe. Britton Pipes, Dylan Neighbors. 4th pitcher of the day, Hudson Davis. 4 hooks. Throws one in there for a strike, ball and a strike. Game 2 scheduled to start at 1:30.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, you know, if this one's a quick inning, not like the last inning last night, or second to last inning, where Liberty-Eylau scored 5 and then Benbrook scored 7. That seemed to take forever. We don't have that kind of an inning. He should be out of here in time for the Tigers to warm up. Ground ball by Howe. How about a base hit for Tristan down the left field line? He's got his second hit of the game. 2 for 5 for Tristan Howe. And Brenton Pipes comes up. Pipes officially 0 for 1. Got a fly out to center. He's walked twice and been hit by a pitch. The ultra colorful Craig Jones. You got to be careful about having a crowd mic over that direction. This game began with Whit Haynes on the mound for Hooks. Braden McDonald took over for an inning in the 3rd, actually 2/3. Grant Rampy for a couple innings. Here's Howe trying to steal a base, and he does. And now Hudson Davis up there. Leopards would like to give themselves a little padding on that 6-5 lead they've got.
This is a good part of the lineup to do it.
0-1 count to Britton Pipes. This is outside, 1-1. See if Pipes gets any time on the mound today. He got a little bit of work against Pleasant Grove in the season opener. Hadn't really thrown since then.
Might use him in that second game against Texas High.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that's good off speed by Davis. Kind of froze Pipes. One ball, 2 strikes. Missed outside, 2-2. John McClure and his Texas High Tigers standing down the right field fence. Of course, that's their dugout over there. This one hit by Pipes, straight away left field. And making the grab. How Fain's tagging up. I tell you, a pretty good throw by McDonald coming in. And Pipe's 0 for 2 now today. Dylan Neighbors. Neighbors pop out, 2 flyouts to center, and he reached on an error. He's 0 for 4. Having the chance to follow Ellie from start to finish for a couple of years, have the feeling that Dylan Neighbors may be, before it's all said and done, one of the most important players if Liberty-Eylau is going to have the kind of season they want to have.
Yeah, his arm talent there at the end of the year was unmatched as far as getting outs, and so having him available on the mound this year will be big time.
Of course, the broken hand of Colin Evans changed the lineup around a little bit. Well, I tell you what, they got Howe in no man's land as Hudson Davis looked, and Howe started to go a little early. Now it's rundown time. Tristan's going to spend a lot of time going back and forth. Maybe could have gotten back in there safe, but instead thought about it a little too hard, and he gets thrown out, or picked off anyway, off second base, and then ultimately tagged in a rather elongated rundown. Hooks does a very good job of pulling that off, and the Leopards make another out on the bases. And Jarvis thrown out on the bases, and Moore was picked off.
And a good move there by Davis.
Yeah. Which, yeah, the right-hander spent a lot of time looking at him, and Howe just kept tempting him. Come on, come on, come on. And he gets hit. Neighbors gets hit on the forearm. So we'll add another hit by pitch to the total. That's number 7 now.
Next batter is second baseman, Maddox Moore.
So with 2 away, Maddox Moore up. Moore's single in the 6th with 2 outs. Key to the Leopard rally that let him retake the lead. I'll tell you what, Hudson Davis, you better not fool around with him if you're on the bases. Neighbors doesn't heed that warning. He stretches this thing out a little bit. Moore watches us pitch outside. It's a pretty good looking pitch, just missed. Leopards with a 2-run first, a 2-run fourth, a 2-run 6th.
Looks like we're getting a runner for Dylan Neighbors. He might be going in as a catcher or a pitcher.
Tyson Blaylock back out there to run. Yeah, you don't want to be a catcher. It's not hot today. It's just early in the year, and have to catch a couple of games. It'll wear you out in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
Blaylock had that same issue with the dirt over there. Kind of spun a wheel a little bit. Now he's off and running. Throw coming down from Crane. Came to the wrong side, and that's going to allow Blaylock to steal second base, and the Leopards get that runner right back in scoring position.
Was a strike call there on Maddox.
They're showing a ball and a strike now to Moore. On deck, Cade McLeod.
Saying 1-2, I believe.
Moore hit by a pitch in the first, hit by a pitch in the third, walked in the fourth, singled in the fifth. Or sixth, excuse me. This one, hard grounder under the glove. They're going to send Blaylock. Nope, they pulled him up. Moore's going to go down to second base on the throw-in. And Maddox with back-to-back innings with a base hit here in the 6th and the 7th. The Leopards have 2 runners in scoring position for Cade McLeod.
Well, good job there by Braden McDonald to get it in and prevent that run from coming in. But also heads up base running by Maddox Moore to advance over to second and get both runners in scoring position.
Yeah, Leopards could have taken a shot at it with Blaylock, but I think we're wise to say, let's see if we can't knock these in. McLeod, who's been hit by a pitch, singled, hit by a pitch, and reached on an error. 1 for 2. And his first pitch swinging. That's going to be fair down the line. 1 run scores. Moore's coming around. Throw won't be in time to catch him. The Leopards pick up 2 more runs on Cade McLeod's single. He's got 4 RBIs today and is 2 for 3. Well, these 2-out rallies for Liberty-Eylau last couple innings have been key. Hit batter and back-to-back singles with 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
Both innings now rallying with 2 outs, putting runs on the board. Very impressive by the Leopards.
Gabe Jarvis up now. Jarvis, 3 walks and a single today. Leopards up 8-5. One misses high and outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Yeah, Liberty-Eylau is going to be in Ben Brooks' position from yesterday. You're going to win a close game, potentially win. You just got to finish it off. And then you got to get right back on the field and play again. Jarvis fouling that one. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Leopards been scoring in pairs. 2 in the 1st, in the 4th, in the 6th, in the 7th. And this one's a shot into left center for another base hit. They're going to wave McLeod around. Throw's going to be off the mark, and Jarvis scrambling in behind that as he gets his 2nd hit of the game. He's 2 for 2. And Will Tipton has a bat.
So he steps back in after Zavin hit for him last inning.
Well, you go back and look at it. If Howe doesn't get picked off second base, this may be a monster inning for Liberty-Eylau.
So Dalen Garton will check in as the runner for Gabe Jarvis.
Which means Gabe's going to be back behind the plate for the 7th, as we were speculating about where will Dylan Neighbors be potentially. I think we just got a clue. It won't be behind the plate.
And nobody's down in the pin either.
Here's Tipton now. First pitch to Will, inside for a ball. Will struck out in the 1st, put down a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd, and in a 6-3 double play in the 4th. And this one he fouls off the catcher. Ball and a strike. Ball, 1 strike. This one fouled straight back. 1-2. First base open. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. This one foul tip into the catcher's glove, but the Leopards pick up 2 more runs. They do that courtesy of 4 hits in the inning and leave. How about 2 more on base? 16 left on through the 7 innings, but Liberty-Eylau stretches the lead to 8-5. We'll take a timeout. We're going to come back bottom of the 7th when we return here on Game Day.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
All right, welcome back. Bottom of the 7th inning. Zach Doty. Game 1 of the Friday version of the Texas High Tournament. Liberty-Eylau and Hooks going at it. And it'll be the bottom 3rd coming up for the Hornets. They will start things off with Bentley Powell, who's singled twice. Jackson blocks him. Grant Rampy. And on the mound, Gunnar Keith. who's starting the 7th. You want to stretch out a pitcher, Zach Fowler's doing it today, letting Gunnar Keith see how far he can go. 2 balls and 1 strike. He had some early stress-free innings, which I think is the key to being able to go this long. Fastball pounded straightaway center field. Tipton's there and has to go down to his knees to catch that one for the first out of the inning. That ball kind of got knocked down by the wind, which is blowing in right behind Will. 1 away. Yeah, Keith didn't have really any problems at all until the 3rd. Got through a 1-2-3 4th and a 1-2-3 6th. So when you start looking at it, it's not necessarily the number of pitches, it's the pitches under duress. And he didn't really have many of those. Well, strike 2, quick 0-2. Hooks fans probably have a legit grumble about that one. Looked a little bit low. Locks him 1 for 2. Single, stolen base, run, and a foul out to 3rd. He pokes this one into right. How about a base hit?
Good job by Bloxham there. 0-2 count and pokes it the opposite way.
It's 2 hits for Jackson Bloxham today. He and Ripken Birdwell have 4 of the Hornets' 7 hits. Rampy's got one of them as well as he steps in. Rampy with a single and a run scored and a ground out.
Ashton Odom, pinch runner. Or excuse me, courtesy runner. For Bloxham. I guess it would be a pinch runner. I don't know.
Yeah, he's pinch running. Fastball strike. No balls, 1 strike. Number 9 hitter in the Hornets lineup. He hits this one to center. It stays up. Tipton giving a long run. Not going to get there. It's going to roll the wall.
Odom's coming all the way.
Odom's going to be waved around. Howe's going to hold on to it. Gabe Jarvis wanted to throw in, but it's probably a smart one not to. Keep the runner at second. Not that that run matters a whole lot, but Rampy with a double knocks in a run. It's his 2nd RBI of the day.
Rampy's done a great job in the 9-hole today.
Yeah, we're back around to Ripken now as Birdwell comes out. Another runner coming in for Rampy.
Yep, that'll be Drake Shelton.
It's like the game that never wants to end.
We've had a few of these in these tournaments so far.
Every time LE's grabbed a lead, the Hornets come clawing back. Hooks got a lead, the Leopards took that right back. Now it's an 8-6 ball game. Keith misses wide to Ripken. Ripken Birdwell with a walk, a single, a 2-run double. Count 2 balls, no strikes. Being very careful with Birdwell. That one catches the outside corner.
Officially over the 2-hour mark now.
Oh, that's fun. And I'm hearing you're going solo next game, huh?
Possibly. might wrangle somebody in.
Oh, that's a good-looking pitch back on the inside corner. Had Birdwell looking outside. Count evens up 2 balls, 2 strikes. The great one must have dance practice today.
Yep, dance practice yesterday, and I think he just couldn't get off at Old Diamond Bank.
I can't imagine he's working that hard on a Friday at the bank. That's just me talking, but I just don't see it. But all right, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And it's
ball.
Just fouled on the right field line. Birdwell, just an impressive-looking baseball player.
Very talented, only a junior. Like you mentioned earlier, two-way athlete.
Fouled, unable to hang on to that. Stays 3 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, when you're a coach's kid, you figure you're pretty good at most sports.
That family is just all athlete. Kinsley Birdwell over at SAU right now. She's doing a great job.
Here's the pitch inside. Got him on the ankle. As if Birdwell's not having a tough enough day. He's gotten kicked in the face basically on a slide that kind of went awry. And now he takes a pitch to the foot/ankle area. That's the is that second hit batter? First hit batter that Gunnar Keith has put up there. 4 times to the plate, 4 times now Birdwell's been on base. Number 2 hitter back up there, Kason May. This one's foul out of play. May 0 for 4. Grounded out, fouled out, and reached on an error by Howe. By the way, tying run back, of course, on base. Misses away. Ball and a strike. Leopards would love to be able to get a double play. Tough guy to turn one on, though, is May. And ground ball to Moore. They'll get 1 out. The relay in time. They got it. 4-6-3 double play. You're welcome. That's from Nostradamus. And ball game finally over. 8-6 the final score. Leopards win this one to go to 2-0 in the tournament. They're 5-3 overall in the year. And you can see the handshaking and hugging. It's a non-district game. You can do that. Next week or 10 days from now, they may not hug and they'll shake hands, but I don't know they'll hug when they play for real over in Hooks on Tuesday the 11th. Final score 8-6, Liberty-Eylau with the win. We're going to take a time out here, kill the feed. What are you going to do?
We're going to shut this one down. We'll be back here in just a little while for the Texas High Liberty-Eylau game, and we'll get back underway for that one. Brand new stream, and make sure to tune in right here on Texarkana Gameday.
All righty. That's you can catch the stream here. You want to do the radio version? I'll be over on the Fan 107.9.
There you go. All right, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back here in just a little bit from the Texas High Tiger Classic. Good night. Goodbye.